Good afternoon. We're at the World Education Summit here in Dubai, and this is the Education Talk Show powered by Learning Matters Educational Group. We have a special guest with us here this afternoon, and you are?
Ben Mason.
Please introduce yourself a little bit for us if you don't mind.
So my name is Ben Mason. I'm the founder and CEO of an edtech platform called globalbridge.com. I was a teacher for 16 years across the state and independent sector in the UK. And I've then left teaching with 3 of my own kids under the age of 10 to become a tech entrepreneur.
Wow, that's really great. That's a great story. So in Dubai here, there's a lot of great, exciting things happening in education, but there's also some challenges in education right now. So from your perspective, what do you think are some of the challenges that we have in education right now?
Oh, well, there's obviously, the elephant in the room is tech. It's the world that I've stepped into. I think Dubai and the UAE is very forward thinking. I think one of the strengths of the region is the speed with which they're willing to make decisions and make bold decisions and actually embrace the future and embrace tech. And I think the challenges are just being able to harness the power of the tech that is being built and being able to control it before the beast is too loose. So I think, we're seeing it as parents, we're seeing it as teachers, we're seeing it as edtech companies. The pace is so quick. There's got to be some restrictions in there that put the child at the centre of everything. And I think Australia's gone to one level of it. I don't think they're the last country to make the same decision. So I think the challenges are just harnessing the power really is the big one.
Right, no, I would agree with that. And so certainly we can't predict the future, but if you were to look at education in 20 or 30 years from now, what do you think it would look like?
I think education as a group needs to drive the technology and collectively force the market. I think that allow tech companies to drive the tempo, and they will, and this is probably just not respecting all of them, but there will be companies out there that will drive their product, and the secondary thought is what's the end user's experience. And you could potentially argue that with some of the social media platform, the damage that we're seeing, the social mental well-being damage that we're seeing to young people. How much at the start did somebody think this is the direction of travel? So I think education needs to collectively drive what is developed for their young people. And I think the future, a strong future, is tech and edtech that's built with multi-stakeholder engagement. So I think it's visibility between the key stakeholder, which is the student, and then the school, the teachers, and then the parent, because I think oversight from teachers and parents quite rightly will guide young people in their formative years when in many cases they don't know what's good for them and what's bad for them. So I think in terms of harnessing tech, there's got to be this visibility from key stakeholders, which are obviously parents and teachers who've got the best interests of this child at heart, not the tech company which is seeing dollar signs at the end of it. So I think the future will be a multi-stakeholder approach with the demand driven by the educationalists and the schools who say, if your tech doesn't do that, we're not having it, thank you.
No, that's a very refreshing approach coming as a technologist.
Well, I'm a teacher first.
Thank you for that. And I would agree with that. I think that one of the presenters had said, our role is, are we going to lead with education, or are we going to react to all these new technology changes? And unfortunately, hopefully that will not be the case. Well, it's so great to be here with you in Dubai. Do you have any other final thoughts for us before we finish?
I think it's really exciting. I think we need to use technology as a bridge. We need to use it to strengthen relationships and strengthen opportunities for young people, not replace them. And I think that's the power of technology. I think there is so much that, you look at young people that don't have personal networks, social economic background is areas of deprivation. I think what tech brings for those young people is real opportunity, whereas traditionally it's driven by personality, so what family I was born into, what school I go to, what networks I've got. And whilst that's the case, whilst it's driven by personality, there's always going to be a divide around opportunity. You know, talent is everywhere, opportunity isn't. So I think technology needs to be used for the benefit of everybody, and I think then the challenge is how do we harness it to ensure that it becomes a bridge, not a dangerous black hole for young people in a position of vulnerability just based on their age.
I love that approach, and I love that idea of it being a bridge. So thank you so much for your insights, and thank you for sharing.
No problem at all. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.